Do, 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 do. Hello, check, 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 check. We got no microphone. Check, 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 check. Hello, check, 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 check. Hello, can you guys hear me? You can hear me okay? Okay. Good. It's not showing up. But as long as you guys can hear me. Headphones warning. Why? Too loud? Tell me if it's too loud. I'll turn it down. I got the gain way up because I didn't know if it was working. But the good news is I'm going to wait till a few people jump in here. We got 5 already. Okay, good. Then we'll get going right away. Okay. So everyone can hear me. Everyone can see me. And do Koffee and Kalashnikovs. I'm all amped up. I just literally, man, I couldn't have timed it better if I tried. I literally did 8. Well, I shouldn't. I get arrested if they see me or hear me saying this. I did 80 miles an hour all the way back from the range, and just to be here on time. So, hey, somebody found me because of the ZPAP M70. Well, then good, because you're going to want to hear this. I'm sorry. I'm running late as always, but this was really late. So went to the range and was doing a video on Yugoslavian AKs. So I'll give you guys a little heads up and sneak peek. And I took 3 Yugos that I have to the range today. One was the ZPAP, the new one. And I'll get to that. And the reason I did it was some controversy on one of the other videos, but in the comments. So I brought the ZPAP, I brought my NPAP, and I brought my M70 AB2 underfolder, which was subcontracted out and built by Century. Century had other manufacturers build them for them. Great gun. So the reason it came to mind was, one, I wanted to do an AK video for you guys. I've been slacking all this. I know you can give me all this grief. I got all these videos on the ARs lately and stuff, but wanted to get a lot of AK content going again. So took those 3 guns out just to compare them, go through them, and address some of the comments in the other video. So a lot of people have been saying, oh, you're wrong about the trunnions. You're wrong about the thickness of the receiver. What the hell are you talking about? And NPAP is not a ZPAP, and on and on and on. Just all this craziness. And I'm not harping on these guys. I'm just saying that some of them, not all, but some may have not been around through all the different iterations that Zastava has done, and I just happen to have been. I've been doing it longer, that's all. So we took those 3 to the range today, and why I'm so amped up and just a little crazy right now is I looked at the clock all of a sudden, and it's like a 45-minute hour ride to the range, and I had 42 minutes to get home. Do what I need to do when I walked in the door and get everything set up and go. So here I am. And the good news is you get a range report, and I'll tell you about the Yugo video that's coming up and what we did today. It was a lot of fun. So guys are making these comments, and in their defense, I was a little maybe not as clear as I should have been in the video. I can see when I went back and watched it how it could have easily been confused what I was saying. So in one of the ZPAP videos, at the beginning, I hold up my NPAP and I go, we are doing a video today on, or I said something like, I have got a ZPAP here, and I hold up my NPAP. And I go through this whole thing about how the NPAP is essentially the ZPAP. And for some of you guys may be going, what? No, it's not. Well, yes, it is, or yes, it was. So if some of you guys weren't around when it first came out, the ZPAP came out without bulge trunnions. It came out with a 1 millimeter receiver and no chrome lining. And that was the big hubbub. You know, the way it happened, and the reason the ZPAP even exists is because Century was the importer for years and years and years. They imported the NPAPs, the OPAPs, underfolders, fixed stocks, all that. And I don't know what happened, but either Zastava pulled it from them, or Century couldn't get a continuation of their contract as the distributor here in the U.S. or whatever. But Zastava quit doing business with Century. They formed their own import and distribution end here in the States, which happens to be in Des Plaines, Illinois. And they started bringing the guns in. Well, I don't know if NPAP was registered to Century or what, but the new gun was called the ZPAP. And it was essentially an NPAP, an identical gun. There may have been a slight change to the rivets in the rear, and they put different furniture on it, and that was it. They called it the ZPAP. It was the NPAP. 1 millimeter receiver, same barrel profile, regular trunnions, no chrome line barrel. So a lot of guys weren't around for that, or weren't paying attention, or weren't into AKs at that time, or whatever. It wasn't until this last go around where, to Zastava's credit, they listened to the people and said, hey, we want this gun. And everybody wanted an OPAP. When the NPAP was, or the, I'm sorry, when the ZPAP was going to come out from Zastava, we all hoped and prayed that they were going to bring the OPAP out, because that was the gun that was the real deal. You know, at the time the NPAP sold better. You could get an OPAP cheaper back in the day, but nobody bought it for some reason. And there was a lot of hubbub back then about the weight and all of that. Oh my God, God forbid you haul around an extra 8 ounces or whatever, you know. But so yeah, it didn't happen. They brought out the new NPAP called the ZPAP. And then when the second iteration came around and they listened to the public, and they put the chrome line barrel on it and the thicker receiver and the bulge trunnions. And that's what you have today. So folks misconstrued it in the video and were telling me I didn't know what I was talking about and all this other stuff. And nope, I know what I'm talking about. So I'll give you guys a brief history from the get-go, just so it's straight. And then we'll talk about what I did at the range with them today. We actually did some accuracy testing between the three, and you'll see that in an upcoming video, but I'll tell you all about it today. It's kind of a sneak preview coming in here tonight. So back in the day, right, 15, 18 years ago, 20 years ago, there was a company that brought in what was called the PAP, or C, I don't know. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. They brought in, the original guns were like slant back receivers, and they had some funky stocks and different stuff, and they were single stack guns, okay? They then started bringing in bringing them in single stack, but cutting open the mag wells and whatnot. But they still had single stack bolt carriers. So some would work just fine, others wouldn't. It wouldn't pick up the rounds right, and there were issues. So lo and behold, Century jumps into the game, and they become the sole importer for Zastava weapons. Now, to Zastava's credit, from the get-go, all their guns were really nice, finished really well. None of the milling marks and cheap finishes and scratches and all of that. They were really nice. Their bluing was outstanding. Their machining was outstanding. Everything was just superb on these guns. Century gets in the game. They bring in the NPAP and the OPAP. There were some underfolders and a few other things, but these were the first like straight back receivers, easily convertible to, look like the guns we want. So NPAPs come in, and from the get-go and all the way through their iteration, NPAPs were 1 millimeter receivers. They did have the thicker top cover. They did have the little button that some people like, some people hate for the top cover because it was left over from the military weapon. Yugoslavian people love to launch grenades, I guess, and don't want their top covers blown off. So they've kept that around all the way through. Had the thicker barrel, AK profile barrel, not an AKM, which is a thinner barrel. Nice gun. No bayonet lugs. They never had a bayonet lug on the NPAP or the ZPAP. But then they brought out the OPAP. Century came out with that, and like true to the M70, right? The bulge trunnions, 1.5 millimeter receiver. By the way, these all had the proper bolt carriers for the double stack mags. Century did a pretty decent job on the mag wells on them and everything. Things were always pretty straight on them too. I've never had a canted Zastava gun, never, ever, of all of them that I've had. And I've had a lot. The Yugo gun was my first AK ever. My wife bought me the one you'll see in the video, the M70 AB2 underfolder. She bought me that for Valentine's Day, and that got this whole ball rolling. Honey, I bet you wish you never had bought that gun for me, right? Look what it's turned into, taking over my life. But so OPAPs were out. There were also, Century was doing a lot of cool guns at the time too. They were building M70 AB1s, which were essentially military parts kits, M70 parts kits, and subbing those out. Some they did themselves. And they were building basically an OPAP, a fixed stuck M70. They had they had night sights on some of them. Some they'd leave off, depending on what the kid had. I don't remember if they had the grenade launchers on the Century guns, but their underfolders did. Mine does. So they had the military wood too, which was cool on the Century ones because they were kit guns. NPAPs always had a bunch of different woods they came with. Most of them were blonde balsa type wood, just like the Wassers come with the junk. They all came loose. There were two types of stocks they put on them. One was a typical Eastern Bloc, Com Bloc, small, teeny tiny, what I call Warsaw Pact stock. And the other is what I call the NATO stock, the gigantic stock on a trap gun or something. The comb is so high, actually, me at least, I cannot get down far a sight picture with the iron sights. Great with an optic, but terrible for the iron sights. And it's so high, it kicks you in the cheek unless you are right on the receiver, all the way forward on the thin part of the wrist of it. And yeah, you should be forward, but not that forward. and it kicks your cheek till it hurts, and you'll get a bruise. It's terrible. Century did sell the replacement stock. You could put one on, but most people just swapped it out for military wood. There were versions that had polymer, all kinds of stuff they did. In true Century fashion, they just all over the place. And I think most of it was just whatever they could get at the time if they ran low or something. The OPAP that Zastava brought in through Century was done the same way, just the OPAP. It had the bigger trunnions and receiver and all that. Still had commercial wood, all of that. And a lot of people would get confused between the M70 that looked like the OPAP kit gun out of military kits that Century was building and the Zastava OPAP that Century was selling as well. So that could get a little confusing. Anyhow, then what happened was what I just told you about 5 minutes ago. Century was no longer the importers. Zastava was doing it themselves. ZPAP comes out, originally comes out, everything the same except, straight trunnions, 1 millimeter receiver, and no chrome line barrel. The ZPAP was essentially the NPAP. And then they made the changes, which we all know of now, chrome lining and thicker receiver and bulge trunnions. That's it, guys. Zastava in a nutshell as far as NPAP, ZPAP, M70 goes, kind of. There were a bunch of other stuff. There were RPKs, a whole bunch of stuff. But that puts us to today. So I hope that ends the confusion. I answered the same stupid questions. And I won't say stupid, just confused questions 20 times on that video. I'm sick of doing it. And it's my fault, but hey, what the heck. Anyhow, let's get into the chat here and see who's here. And then I'll tell you all about the video on the Yugos today. So Joe's here. Hey, Joe. I hope all's doing well. Yeah, you guys can hear me good. I would have hated to have went through that whole story and you guys not hear me like last week. Let's talk about equipment right now. So that mic problem last week was due to an update from Microsoft or whoever, and what a pain. My video should look good for all of you. No more video problems, knock on wood. Starlink figured out what our speed problems were, and turns out that Starlink, which is, I don't know if it's owned by Tesla or if the owner of Tesla just started it, whatever, but they are in a lawsuit with Dish Network. So Dish Network and Starlink operate on the same megahertz or something. I think it's megahertz, my wife told me. And when you have Dish in your house and Starlink in your house, these signals compete and screw everything up. We recommended this Starlink to a neighbor. He got it and he called us thanking us. Man, oh man, I'm getting 250 millibytes or gigabytes per second. This is the fastest thing. It's like NASA, incredible. Thank you so much. And we're sitting here like I can barely get 20, and my live streams are failing and all this. So my wife got a hold of Starlink and they figured it out. Anyways, earlier today I was getting like 150 or something. So that should be enough to power the stream at least. And it seems like it is. So put in the comments how it looks to you guys, if I'm lagging or buffering or sound or pictures. I hope it's, killing it right now. Anyhow, let's see who else is in here. AG47, hey, found you because your video on the ZPAP M70. Well, thank you. Thanks for coming tonight. And if you come back a few times and see the same people, you'll have a lot of fun. They have a good time in the chat here. I go to a friend of mine's, and I suggest you guys do too. His channel is 2AEDU. He's got a great channel. Not just about Second Amendment, but he's a big AK fan too. All kinds of cool guns. And that's my playtime. That's when I'm not a creator. I'm not on here to entertain people, to inform people. I'm in there to have fun, and I can get in the chat and have fun with all my buddies that are over there, and a lot come over here. So check out his channel. He's on Friday nights at 8:30, I believe, at least 8:30 Central. He's out of Michigan, so they're an hour earlier, but it's 8:30 Central. So check him out. He's the one that got me into this, and hopefully we can do a little live stream together, me and him. He had originally brought it up to me. We were going to do one on AKs together, and I think he kind of backed off a little because my internet problems. So now that they're fixed, hopefully we can do something. So let's see who else is in here. Joe, I got a gun gripe. What kind of gun shop sends a new shooter home with a gun they don't know how to use? I had to teach a stranger through email. Unbelievable. A gun shop that doesn't give a crap. That's what. And frankly, you know what? We could talk about that tonight, about gun shops, good gun shops and bad. There's some great gun shops and good people, and there's some really schlocky ones out there, boy, let me tell you. Yeah, how do you send somebody home? Here's your gun, here's your bullets, have fun. Oh my God. Joe's liking the AK comment. Solomon Gamino, shalom. I found you and was inspired to get a VR80. You know, when I went today, it was a toss-up. Do I do the AKs? I wanted to do a VR80 video so bad. I've got a lot of stuff to bring you. And it just, the Yugos won out. This channel started on AKs. And I had AK Vepr that I use in 3-gun. And then I found the VR80. And for those of you that come here for AKs but haven't checked out my VR80 videos, check it out. If you have a chance and are in need of a shotgun, buy one. For the money, you'd be hard-pressed to find a gun with its quality. Don't even think about the fact that it's made in Turkey, because it's just a quality, solid gun, as I'm sure Solomon here can attest to. They run pretty much out of the box. Any issues with birdshot, and let's face it, guys, these type of guns, Veprs, etc., were military guns meant to run slugs and buckshot. And we, the U.S., like to run birdshot through them. Why? Because we like to shoot 3-guns. So we think we can take a gun made to shoot slugs, throw some 2 3/4 dram birdshot shells in there, and it should run like a champ. Well, the VR80 actually does. Once in a while, it needs a little tweak, a little break-in. But usually, if a guy brings it home, tears it completely apart, cleans the manufacturing and packing oil off of it and heavy garbage that's on there, lubes it up real nice, make sure the ports are clean, and takes it out, I'd run 25 rounds of slugs or buckshot through it, switch over to birdshot, and go. You'll never have another problem. Put it in a light gas ring. It comes with a light gas ring and heavy gas ring. And man, they run, and they run well. Really a nice shotgun, and they've gotten super popular in 3-gun. There's all kinds of aftermarket support now, and there's more every day. I just got a loader to make shells for that gun in my Vepr specifically. I've got a big progressive machine that I load tens of thousands of rounds for trap that I shoot a lot of. And I didn't want to change that up because it requires all kinds of adjustments for crimp and this and that. And I didn't want to do that. That machine I have for trap, one pull and it makes a shell. One pull, it makes a shell. And I can run off 100 shells in minutes, literally a couple minutes. So I went and got a Mech 600 Junior, the old standby that everybody that loads shotgun shells has started on. And it'll allow me to make all kinds of custom shells for the VR80, for the Vepr, experiment around with some cool stuff. So that'll be coming too. But got some VR80 content coming for you, Solomon. If there's anything specific you want to see about it, hit me up. Leave it here in the comments, and I'll do videos on it. I love shooting that gun. And my son loves it. That gun brings a smile. Something about a 20 round or 19 round ginormous banana clip stuck in the bottom of a shotgun and pulling the trigger as fast as you can and trying not to get set back on your heels just brings a smile to your face. It's a blast. Joe Morgan, I had a PAP MV90 years ago. That was like the single stack one, wasn't it? If I remember right, with the weird stock. Cesar Hernandez, what do you think of the new M70 M-Lock handguard rail? I like it. Are you talking about the TDI arms that I did the video on? I was probably one of the first ones to tout that handguard, if that's the one you're talking about. It's billet aluminum M-Lock, weighs nothing, and the best part is it's under $100. TDI is owned by a company in Israel. I started doing stuff with them, and somebody there took a liking to me and sends me all kinds of stuff all the time. And I test it out for them. I'm honest. I tell you guys, they give me the stuff. This year, they sent me some grips to test, another handguard, some new handguards with quad rails on them, and some new grips to test out. And I do videos for them and test it, and they ask for my input on some things. They supply armies and special forces around the world, including some of the most best special forces, including the Israeli special forces and stuff. So I get a little input there. It's kind of cool. Anyhow, let's see what else we got. Yeah, we talking about Zastava anxiety. Let's see. So Caesar, I hope you're talking about that TDI one. It's awesome if that's the one you're talking about. It's great. I had nothing but luck with Sentry, but that was 20 years ago. I'll tell you what. In the new video that we shot today, I talk about that Sentry gun, that M70 AB2, and those guns, they're marked Sentry, but Sentry subbed them out to a bunch of people, and all of them were good. I've never heard of anyone having a problem with any of those Yugo guns that Sentry sold. Mine has held up tens of thousands of rounds. My NPAP and that other one have to be between the two of them, 18,000 rounds, 17,000 rounds. And I did some accuracy testing. You'll see the guns are still accurate. They're still on the money. They look like brand new. It's amazing. They did a great job. So don't ever be afraid of those particular Sentry guns. And they came out with a new batch maybe a year ago of those M70 AB2s. I don't know who built those, if that was old stock or if Sentry found some kits and ran another batch. But from all reports, they were really good guns too. Granted, they haven't been around anywhere near as long as the other ones. I mean, I've had that one 15 years now, at least, maybe 17 years, something like that. And for a while, that was my first and only gun. I shot the hell out of that thing, and I continue to. It's just, I've blown iron sights. I put military handguards on it. The wood, I finished it with linseed oil, just like they did. It's got their military sling on it. It's got night sights, grenade launcher. I did my weave for some paracord on the underfolder stock. Got a bayonet for it. The original bolt hold open mags, the blued ones. Here's a little tip for you guys that want to get into Yugos. So for the longest time, all I bought was Yugoslavian bolt hold open mags. Now, not the ones that had the little device in them for the, what was it, the Yugo M63 or something. I don't know. 2A EDU has one that's hanging behind him on his channel all the time. Those had actual bolt hold open mags that had like a little mechanism it interacted with in the gun. The ones I'm talking about just have the higher not floor plate, but follower in the receiver that causes the bolt to hold back. For the longest time, all I bought were those magazines. First of all, they're thicker. Second of all, if you find original ones that haven't been messed with, they were the most beautiful bluing you've ever seen in your life. Original military Zastava guns, early guns, had just the most gorgeous, beautiful blue you'd ever seen. Colt would be jealous. And so it's cool to find original ones. Over the years, Century would have batches, and maybe they got some rusty ones, and I think they'd take them apart and parkerize them or something. And I've seen some painted. I don't know if those are people doing it or importers that are selling them doing it. But back in the day, they were as cheap as any Romanian mags, maybe a little more, but not a lot. And those mags, I swear by them to this day. They're thicker, they're heavier. I like bolt hold open mags. It is weird to some people. Why I use them is when that bolt locks open, you feel the change in the cadence of the gun, so it's empty. When you remove those bolt hold open mags, the carrier and bolt go forward. So ka-chung, and some people don't like that. What's the point? It holds it back, but it doesn't hold it open to insert the next mag and chamber around. But I like, at least you're empty. If you are in a situation with gunfire on all sides and in front of you and behind you, and you're squeezing, if you're amped up and you're not realizing there's no recoil, you might be pulling the trigger on an empty gun. Well, at least here, that cadence changes. Hey, I'm empty. Time for a mag change. And you do it. But they're durable and they always work. They're great mags. So I bought them forever and ever and ever. I didn't buy anything else. I have more of those, crazy amounts of those. The new ones are good as well. They're not blued like the old ones. They seem to be a little lighter on the thickness, but good mags all in all, good fitment, all of that. If you get your hands on early bolt hold open mags, they're good to go, all of them. There was a batch that came in that marked made in Serbia or something that had some fitment issues on some guns, but it's easily fixed with a couple swipes of a file. So don't be scared of those either. Let's get back in the chat here. Anxiety had nothing but luck. Yeah, we did that. Yes, the AB2s have the shutoff. What shutoff? You mean the grenade launcher gas shutoff? Yeah, they do. Certainly do. You're saying the AB1s. I know the AB2s, the underfolders did. I couldn't remember if the Century built OPAP essentially, which was in Century's model on that was M70AB1 for the fixed stock. And it's similar in the actual Zastava model number too, but there's some differences between Zastava's model number and Century's model number, and some guns cross over, and that can create confusion. But what I was talking about was the Century built military kits fixed stock. I couldn't remember if those had the grenade launchers on them or not. I don't remember. I didn't have one of those. I had no PAP. I did not have the Century built fixed stock. Tim Farley is here. That's who asked about the AB or about the shutoff. With the NPAP, it's not that it's high, it's that the wood is of poor density and the stock bolt is short, way too much vibration. Yeah, that's true. What I'm talking about with it being high is depending on your build and your length of your neck and all that. A lot of people complained about it being too high and catching them and kicking them in the cheek. But yes, they have a huge tendency to come loose. And then if guys run them loose or you start tightening it down, it comes loose again. You tighten it down some more, it comes loose again because the wood is so soft, so porous that they just wear out. They're junk. First thing you should do with that wood that if you have an old NPAP or OPAP, is get rid of the wood, get a military set, get something, switch over to an M4 adapter, whatever. It's garbage. But as far as it kicking you, it was because of the height of that comb on the stock. Let's see. Matthew Whittington decided on a Sam 7K44. Thanks for your contact. Matthew, is that a cool gun or what? I hope you get the CNC Warrior brace for it, the foldable brace like I did. I mean, I'm not telling you how to build your gun. Do what you want. But, man, it is such a nice package. And with the 4-piece Bulgarian flash hider on it, there ain't much that looks as cool as that crank, man. Let me tell you. I did put, if you watch the other one, I put the flashlight handguard on, the Bulgarian. It's a polymer handguard with their military flashlight built into it. While it's cool, and I wanted one because they were kind of rare, and I got one, I don't know that I'll leave it. It's okay. Don't get me wrong. I don't know. I'm very tempted to put wood on the gun, just because, I don't know, because I think it's cool. But we'll see. I don't know if I'll leave the flashlight on it or not. It's on there right now. I also have the RS Regulate mount for that gun. You know, you need one that puts the optic to the rear, because if you had one to the front or even the full mount, you can't get it past that crank sight that's on the top cover. So they make a special one for it. It's really hard to get anything out of RS Regulate right now. Everything is out of stock. You see a batch come out and it's gone instantly. I need a few right now for, I need one for the SAM 5. I need a bunch right now. And I haven't been able to get one. I got to start watching a little closer. I'd even take the Arsenal mounts. I like those, but they sit a little higher. I've got one actually on the SAM 5 right now, but with that 3-power prism I want to use, it sits so damn high that the factory stock on that SAM 5 won't work. I got to do a top chin weld just to see out of it. And there's very few stocks made for milled guns without going to, say, an M4 adapter or something. And I really didn't want to do that on this one. I don't know. I got to figure out. For now, I was going to put one of those Velcro on cheek riser pads for now. But that's cheesy, you know, but just so I can shoot it and sight it in with that prism. Maybe I can't do the prism. I don't know. Maybe I got to just forget about it and do a red dot, but I thought it would be good with that. So if any of you can recommend a good fixed stock for a SAM 5 milled gun, essentially same stock as the SAM 7, let me know. I really don't want to go to an M4 style, but I need something that'll raise that sight picture up a bit. And I don't know what to go to. And I don't want to cut off the bottom tang either. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyhow, what else? So Matthew decided on that M44. That's cool, man. I did notice that Arsenal had 2 or 3 different versions of it, and it's minor, really. With the 44 is the one that has the little pick rail on the back of it. That pick rail, you can either use it to mount a brace or a stock, or you can simply unbolt it. There's a hole in the back of the receiver. There's a bolt runs through, and they bolt that pick rail on it. Then the other version, I don't remember the numbers. I'm guessing here. I think it was 33 or 30, and that is the identical gun. Has the hole in the back of the receiver, but it's set up like a QD point. There's no rail on it. And that's the only difference, really. You can still then run a bolt through that hole and bolt up, say, the CNC Warrior brace or whatever other mounting option you want to use. And then there may have been one other one, but those are the two I know. And then, of course, there's the one that was the original that was nice, but wasn't like these. It had actually like a 2 or 3 inch longer barrel, and it had the cone style muzzle break on it, the crink style with the little cone at the end, but it wasn't a flash hider. It was hollowed out, and it simply slid over the barrel, and they welded it or pinned it on there. So it was a fake booster. That was the word I'm looking for. It was a fake booster, and the barrel was longer. Plus, there was no hole or any way to mount a brace or stock to it. Those were the original ones. The 44s were the solution, the gun that everyone wanted. Then they went away. Prices shot to the moon. Some were going over $4,000. And then they came in with this latest batch, and looks like 2 batches actually. The one like mine with the pick rail on the back, the removable pick rail, and the one with the QD. And now I'm seeing some of the bad ones back in. They're not bad. They're just, you can't upgrade them as easily. You'd have to make some changes yourself with some real gunsmithing. Video quality is good today. No more choppiness. Yes. That you have no idea how happy that makes me, because I know it cut into my viewership on here. People would probably tune in and go, screw this, I ain't watching this crap. So hopefully it's good, and it's not choppy and fuzzy, and my mouth is moving like a bad Chinese movie, where it's catching up. I should do an imitation of a kung fu movie. Remember those Saturday mornings? I hated those things, Godzilla movies. I can't dig that stuff. I don't know. So tonight is not coffee and Kalashnikovs. Tonight is Red Bull. And the reason being is I discovered the watermelon flavor. Watermelon's like my favorite thing in the world. And they also have a sour apple flavor, which is out of this world. But the best they have, I thought it was just peach, and it's delicious, but it's peach and nectarine. Oh my God. I drink, well, when we were racing motorcycles full time and living out of our motorhome on the road and at training facilities, you're at all these races, and Monster sponsors you, and Red Bull and all this stuff. And we'd have cases and cases and cases of this stuff in the under compartments of the motorhome in the trailer. And I would drink 6-8 Monsters a day. Now I can't drink a Monster. They're too sweet. And I quit drinking them all together. But then I discovered these flavors, and holy moly. But I got to calm down on them too. Try to keep it to 2 a day. Let's see. Martin Co., it's not lagging, but it's fuzzy, not clear. Well, that sucks. Maybe it's my camera. I don't know. Can you guys see my complexion? How's it looking? Like a shitty old man. No, hopefully it's better. It's not like, okay. Grandpa Rob. I don't know if I've not seen Grandpa Rob in here before, but thank you for coming. We appreciate it. Another guy commenting about the VR80. I wanted to tell you I received my VR80, and I took it to my local gunsmith, and he put a rail on it to fasten my forearm grip underneath the barrel. Fantastic. So the handguard this VR80 shotgun comes with, first of all, for those of you that don't know, it's an AR-15 style shotgun. Comes with a goofy looking, what they call a thumb hole stock, but you slide that off, and the pistol grip is integral into it. You slide the pistol grip stock off, and there's a commercial size buffer tube on it. So you get whatever AR stock you want in the world, as long as it's made for commercial buffer tube, and slide it on. Put whatever AR grip you want on it, and it's full-blown AR style shotgun. The thing is awesome. It's all metal. When you see it in an ad or hanging on the wall at the gun shop, you think, it's made in Turkey. It's probably one of them cheap pieces of junk, until you pick it up. That's why I saw it at a gun shop. I picked it up. I went, oh my God, this thing is real. It's all metal. And the minute I felt that gun, I knew, wow, this thing is cool. and it was like $5.99. They're still, I think MSRP is $600. You see them. I saw one the other day for $6 something, low sixes. They had went up for a while, and gun broker, they're probably crazy. I haven't looked, but you can find them around $600. The best $600 you'll spend on a shotgun. I mean, what can you buy for that today? The thing just runs and it's solid. I haven't had any wear on mine. I haven't heard any issues with these things. Nothing. And they're so much fun. So much fun. And a big aftermarket. Anyhow, the handguard, it's a, well, not full length, but I'll say 15-inch handguard maybe. And it looks like it's M-lock, and it's kind of like the Aero Precision handguards where they got a little pick rail back toward the receiver, some up front for a sight, M-lock on the sides, and then it looks like it has a pick rail or weaver, not a pick rail, but like a weaver style rail on the bottom, and QD points. Well, first of all, the QD points don't work. They're supposed to. They look like they should. They don't. They are not standard QD size. Now, someone came out with QD, the D-rings that do fit it. So they must have machined them off in Turkey, made them the wrong size. So I don't know if it was Rock Island Armory that made them or brought them in or whatever, or an aftermarket company. I'll find out for you guys and have it for next week. But there are some out there that fit, I guess, now. I don't know. I just mounted, I'm using a different sling setup. I'm using my Magpul slings, but I just put a QD point of my own on there. And that under rail looks like it would work, like you could mount a foregrip to it. You can't, because one, the piston that runs inside the handguard runs way too close to it. Now, if you put a bolt through and a bolt head sticking up, it'd hit it. You might be able to, there's an area you could get one in that it won't interrupt anything. But to me, it's just too close. And two, you can't, that rail doesn't work. So what Grandpa Rob here is talking about is he took it to a gunsmith and they mounted a rail to it. And that was one of my thoughts. You probably saw it in the video. I talked about it. I thought that a gunsmith could drill a few holes, countersink them somehow from the inside. So the head of the screw would be countersunk from the inside of the handguard, the bolt hanging down, and then bolt up a foregrip or something. A lot of hassle, but they have come out with aftermarket handguards now. Rock Island Armory, or Rock Island Arsenal, I guess. Is it Armory or Arsenal? I always screwed up. They're the importer, and they have 3 or 4 different handguards available for it now in all different configurations, and there's some aftermarket ones too. So they've solved the problem, but yeah, it'd be nice to have a grip on that on the front for sure. So awesome. You found out. How much was it to have him do that? And how did he mount it? Did he screw it from the inside, or did he thread it and screw through the rail into the handguard? That's probably how I would do it. So I'd cut the bolt to be flush on the inside. Let's see. I'm glad I bought the real deal AKs before they ran out. That's from AR XDMOS. I don't know where. I'm so bad with that. Like, some people look at a license plate and go, "Oh, look at that. That's hilarious." And I'm like, what? What's it mean? So when it comes to screen names, I get like that too. I assume it's AR, maybe like AR-15, and XD. Maybe that's XD, like Springfield, and MOS, minute of whatever. Anyhow, glad to have you here. And yeah, guys, imports, man, it ain't over. He hasn't done shit yet, and it's coming. Buy imports. If you don't have any, or there's something you want, get it as quick as possible. It could literally come out tomorrow. He could do an executive order stopping imports tomorrow. You're screwed. Get it if you want it. You know, I got my IWI Tavor. I got a few other SAMs and stuff I want. Probably going to get an extra CZ Scorpion or two. I got two, but I'm going to get a couple extras. I want a what's the other CZ? The 5.56 rifle. God, my brain is going, I swear. I want to get one of those. A few things I still want. So, yeah, get them now. Let's see. AGK 47. What are your thoughts on the OG Vepr 12s? Let me tell you, I got a lot of thoughts on those. I'm in a banned state looking to get to a free state and collect. Are they good? Yes, they are phenomenal. Now, I did a video on my Vepr 12, a long one. If you look at my videos, there's a long version and short version. Watch the long version. It's worth it. Trust me. So the video is about my brand new Vepr 12 and why I got the one I got, how I got it to run light shells because it wouldn't run light shells out of the box. And in that video, I say, because if you've watched my channel for any length of time or watched my videos about my Vepr FMs, my AKs, I love my Veprs. They're in my top 3 rifles and might be my number 1 rifle because they are just phenomenal. If you've never shot a Vepr, never held one, never cycled the bolt on one, I like them better than SAMs. I have just about every SAM they've ever made, and I'm not knocking them. I like SAMs, right? You've seen my SAM videos. I just like stamp guns better than milled guns. I like them better. I think they look cooler. I like the way they feel, the way they run. And Veprs are smoother guns than a SAM 7 in my book. My opinion. Don't pound me here. Some guys, I got to have a milled. I don't see what the big hubbub is. I like SAM. Awesome, awesome, awesome rifle. But my Vepr, if I had a up and run or grab one, or I could only have one, it'd probably be a Vepr. So when I got the Vepr 12, I was a hair disappointed, and I say so in the video. I was disappointed a little bit, just a little, in the fit and finish and a few other things, and it just seemed off to me. And don't get me wrong, don't freak out on this, because I'm still going to tell you, get a Vepr 12, get one. It's just when you have a Vepr FM or any Vepr rifle and you're like, oh, it's the holy grail. It's just so nice. It's real Russian, and it is. It's beautiful. Russians, until you've cycled a Russian gun, you don't know how an AK is supposed to feel. That's how it's supposed to feel. And that's how the rails are supposed to meet the trunnions, and how everything is. It's just beautiful, right? They're great guns. So this was a couple things were screwy with it. Like, I'll get into it. But anyhow, there's a bunch of different versions out there. So you're in a banned state right now. So I don't know what you're required to do, but I assume you can't have some features. But if you plan on moving to one, I'm not telling you to go break the law or anything, but I would, if you're moving soon, maybe store it somewhere out of state, whatever. But here's what you do. There are fixed stock versions. There are folding stock versions. There are ones that look like folding stock versions and are not. They are fixed permanently. They're welded permanently. You can't change them, but they look like they're a folder. Then there's welded folding stocks where they tack welded it, and those you take a Dremel and go zip, 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 pop, done, and it's a folding stock. And then there were the original folding stocks, which there aren't any more of those around unless you found one. Find yourself one of the tack welded folders. Make sure it's the tack welded one, not permanently welded, and get it. And then when you're ready, just zip, 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 and it's open and you're good to go. So yeah, I got one. Great gun. Hello. I got the original muzzle brake on that gun. There's copies of that brake. They probably work just as well, but I wanted the original. It's huge. It's a honking brake this long. It's a block of steel and aluminum, this big around, square. Looks like it should be on the front of a tank. 3 ports, if I remember. It's lighter than it looks. It's steel lined and then aluminum around it, I believe, but it's huge. It's huge. And you time it with a nut, and it works extremely well. I shot it in a 3-gun match and was just smoking targets, right? And some guy that, it was my first 3-gun match, some guy that was shooting a ton of 3-gun for years comes up and says, "You got chokes in that thing?" I said, "No." I'm thinking, what do I want chokes for, you know? Like, God, I can't believe you were knocking down those targets with no chokes. And I'm like, they were 15 yards in front of us. You know, what do you need a choke for at 15 yards? I think some guys, even guys that know a lot, don't know shotguns that well. I grew up shooting. I know everything there is to know about shotguns and chokes. Let me tell you, we shot trap professionally, me and my father, for years and years and years and years and years. But yeah, that Vepr with a few tweaks. Here's the thing with Veprs. You may get one that it runs right out of the box. No problem. Maybe you get one that needs a little break in and runs light birdshot right out of the box. No problem. You may get one where the gas ports might be a little funky, or since there's multiple gas ports, the way the gas block is on there, maybe partially blocking one or something, and it won't run light loads. But it's not hard to get it to run right. There's aftermarket parts to help you. You can simply drill out the gas ports if you're so inclined, or have somebody do it for you. There's different pucks. There's a lot of parts that get here out of Russia and different places. You get a different puck. You get a different recoil rod assembly. The one that comes in it can bind. They make these nylon ones that work well. There's different springs. You can just polish it up a bit and it'll help it run. It was a lot of rigmarole to get it to run, but I didn't have to go as far as I did. I did it because I wanted it. I wanted everything done that could be done to make that thing run. And it does. It runs great. Watch the long video on it. You'll see everything I did to it, all the parts I did, and how well that thing runs. And it's just a cool gun. It's just part of why I said what I said in the video was, I don't think you should have to mess with a gun that much. Now, in their defense, it's a military / police law enforcement weapon, right? It's meant for shooting slugs and buckshot, not for us silly Americans to run puff loads out of for shooting doves, you know. But yeah, you can get it to run, and they're super cool, super nice, super heavy duty. Lots of aftermarket for them. You'll love it. It's a great, great shotgun. And even after you make the changes, it's you can still run slugs and stuff in it too. So that's what's cool about it. And it's badass looking, totally badass. It's my favorite shotgun by far. Although that VR80 is really cool too. So that's my take on the Vepr 12. Get yourself one. Let's catch up in these. I'm probably falling way behind in the chat here. I don't know. Joe Morgan, glad I got an AK when AK was fun. Now it's inflated, and I'm lucky to get. Oh, where the hell did it go? My chat just went all up. Hold on. Let me get back. Here we go. I'm lucky to get into vintage AR before that went up. Yeah, you know, guys that have been into the AKs a long time, it's kind of sad. It's kind of, I don't know that it pisses me off, but you get a whole crop of new people jumping into AKs, and it blew it up. When we were originally buying AKs 15 to 20 years ago, they were the cheapest thing. They were for young guys who didn't have a lot of money. They were for preppers. They were for, you could buy kits at one time for $100, $200. Wassers were $2.99. Chinese guns were $2.99, $3.99. My Zastava, my M70 underfolder was $3.99 or $4.99. I remember it was like $100 more than a Wasser. You could buy NPAPs for $4.99 all day long. Arsenals, you could here Segas, guys, Segas. I remember looking in Shotgun News and stuff in the day. Every iteration of Sega you could imagine. A lot with just regular stocks and stuff that had to be converted, but they were like $200 or $300, dirt cheap. So now you get all these next generation young guys, this, that. They jump in, and the old guys like me are like, they think they know it all. And look, my $30 note here. Nobody gave a rat's ass about Bakelite mags. Nobody cared. Nobody wanted them. They were junk, cracking, old, faded garbage, and you could buy boxes of them for $10 a piece, right? And now I remember when they went to $40, and I went, you gotta be kidding me. I am not paying $40 for a Bakelite mag. Well, now that like going rate's $80 or $100, yeah, I should have bought a bunch because I like them. I like Bakelite a lot. I just never bought any. I have one. Believe it or not, guys, all the mags I have, which is hundreds. I have one Izmash Bakelite, and I have 3 Chinese Norinco Bakelites. I got to buy some. I got to break down and buy some, but it's just so hard for me to pay that kind of money. I don't know. Yeah, so them driving the prices up, it doesn't help with the political stuff going on, but all the younger guys jumping in has just killed it. It's made the market ridiculous. It used to be that if you went to a boutique builder or a specialized AK guy like Krebs, that's where you paid the money, but the other stuff was dirt cheap, and it just sucks now because, let's face it, at least at the level of collecting I'm at right now, it's like, well, anything's going to be $2,000, even build a kit today. If I want to send a rare kit where I don't want to build it, I send it to Two Rivers, and, by the time I'm done with Two Rivers and a rare kit, I could be a couple grand too. It's crazy. Let's see. Cesar Hernandez. No, it's a factory Zastava rail. Looks similar to a Krebs. I don't know if I've seen it. I know my friend, God, I must be tired. My memory's going. My friend Fabrizio, he's got a channel called El Tenda's channel, and he's good buddies with Mark Krebs too. And that's me, Fabrizio and Mark Krebs hang out and have a lot of fun. And he just did a ZPAP. He bought a ZPAP, the entire action, barreled action, everything all together, but without furniture. I think he bought it. A ZPAP, or got it from Zastava in Des Plaines, because when we're all down there in Illinois, all these guys are there. So I think he became friends with the guy at Zastava, if I'm not mistaken. But he got a barreled action without the furniture and all that, and then did it up with all Krebs stuff, and he did it right. That I'm really jealous of that rifle. I might do my ZPAP that way, or get another one. I kind of want to leave that one alone with the maple furniture. I'll probably get another one and do a Krebs Yugo. That would be awesome. But he did a Krebs handguard and all his stuff, and it's really, really nice. But I think I've seen the one that came out from Zastava. And yeah, they're nice. If it came from Zastava, you know it's nice. They build and make, their parts are beautiful, finished beautifully, everything. That's top notch. Don't ever think they're finer done than Arsenals. They truly are. Look at a gas block on a Z-Path. Just take a look at one and look at how finely it's done. Beautiful. It's, oh man, the 45 degree, it's sharp. They do a really nice job. Sorry guys, I got to smoke while I'm doing this once in a while. Let's see. Arcs Demos. I wish I knew how to say it. What is your favorite AK? Although I love my Russian arsenals, nothing. Russian arsenals. You got Russian arsenals? I thought they're Bulgarian. News to me, unless you're talking about guns that came out of Russian arsenals. Nothing is as rough and rugged as either the Draco or Romanian RPK AES-10B. I have a AES-10B, and I love that gun. It's so cool. Don't get me wrong. You guys always think I'm bagging on Wassers, and I'm not. Matter of fact, there's just so much to buy that I need to buy a Wasser, another Wasser, just because I need one. I have a Wasser. It was the second gun I ever bought, but mine was one of the early ones that I bought right in the middle of when their quality control was absolute garbage. And this rifle that I have is absolute garbage. No, it's not. It runs well considering, but the whole thing is twisted. Literally, when they riveted the gun, it pulled the receiver like this. And for the longest time, if you look at the gun, you go, wait, it's canted. And then you check it with, what do you call it? The right angle things, a square. And you're like, no, it's not canted. Wait, is the gas block off? No, that's not canted. Everything's right. Wait, is it the stock wood that's off? When you set it down on the top, if you flip the gun over without the dust cover on it, set it a level surface, the pistol grip goes like this and the mag goes like this. And it's because the receiver's twisted. Now, here's what it says about the platform and or Wassers, Romanian Cougar guns. It still runs, and it always runs. It never misses a beat. But when you look at the gun, you go, what the hell is wrong with this thing? Hey, don't get me wrong. If you walked up, grabbed it, and shot it, you wouldn't notice. But you start looking at the gun, and with the little bit of OCD I have, okay, a lot of OCD, it bugs the crap out of me. The gun came with original palm swell handguards, which are kind of rare, and the regular military stock, and the crappy finish and all of that. Matter of fact, when I bought it, I didn't know shit about AKs. And I thought it was, I'm like, is this a used gun? You know, because they're so beat up. Today, if you guys only know Wassers by today's standards, you're like, wow, this is a masterpiece work of art. No, man, you should have seen the original ones. Holy cow. Like they had been through a war, literally. And these were new part guns, not old part, new part. But they don't care. It's a military factory. They reach in the barrel and pull one out and pop it on. It's all scuffed up from the 10 other ones banging on it and everything. The gun literally looks like it was drugged down a road, and it's brand new. So I refinished the furniture on it and all. You'll see it in a video. I did my buddy Jake's. It's gorgeous. It's got a dong on it, and the gun's absolutely beautiful. The color I did on the stock. That was the gun I experimented with appliance epoxy finish. And let me tell you something. That's the toughest crap in the world. It's tougher than Cerakote. It's tougher than Duracoat. I promise you, if you do it the way I teach to do it, and you can see a full tutorial of it on AK Files. I think they pinned it or something, but it's in this refinishing thing. And guys refer to my method all the time because it's fabulous. I made one mistake though. When I did the gun, I wanted to do a video and stuff, and I was in a hurry, and they were out of the Rust-Oleum brand appliance epoxy. I bought Ace brand because it looked like it came from Rust-Oleum, I was guessing it was out of the same factory, just labeled for Ace, and it's different. When you bake it, normally when you bake appliance epoxy, it dulls it down a lot. It looks really good. The Ace, no matter how much you bake it, how hot, how long, it stays super glossy. It's like somebody poured liquid glass over the gun. It's beautiful. Wrong. It just looks wrong, and on a washer with imperfections and different stuff, it highlights those. So the gun looks a little weird. If you look at it in the video I did on it, Vepr versus Wasser, you'll see the gun. You'll say, wow, that thing's beautiful. When you see it in person, it looks like a toy. And because that gun's canted, and because I don't know if it's because that receiver's off, it just sounds so shitty and tinny when you rack the gun. I hate it. I never shoot it, rarely. The last time I shot it was that video 2 years ago. I like the gun. I'd love to shoot it. I have nothing against Wassers. They run great. Just mine happens to suck. So I just don't do that. But anyhow, my AES 10B, I love that gun. My Mini Draco, love that gun. I want a regular Draco so I can do something with it. I don't know. It'd be nice to take a factory gun like that and SBR it, you know. I don't have a micro either, although that'd be the last one I'd want. It's just too small. I think finally somebody makes a lower handguard for it, or rail or something, but it's so short you can't even put an optic on it, where the Mini you can. And they make some cool handguards. I happen to get one that you can't ever find them, because when they do make a batch, they're gone. I have a alpha rail on that. Yeah, alpha rail. And awesome. It's really cool. Yeah. AES 10B, my favorite gun, probably my favorite gun in my whole collection, not just to shoot, but just my favorite gun to look at and polish and just oogle over, whatever, is my Romanian paratrooper AK or RPK. I love that gun. That kit I got from Arms of America, and they had a very few of these things. They found a batch, they brought them in, and it's essentially like the AES 10B, but with a folding stock and a dong handguard. Now, the dong was specific to the RPK. It's not a regular dong. A regular dong won't fit. These are very, very rare guns, and I had Two Rivers build it, and we were very specific in the finish, and we researched it all and everything, and it's done to perfection. The kit was so beautiful. Mine happened to be unissued, unfired, and I could have put the kit together without refinishing anything. It was that beautiful. There's a video of me going through the kit on my channel. Take a look at it. And then, but again, OCD and just how I like my guns. I like my guns perfect. You'll never see me with a battlefield pickup style gun. I like perfection. And this gun is perfection. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It shoots magnificent. It's so cool. It's rare. You don't see a lot of them. And it's probably my favorite in my collection. As far as to shoot, God, it's so hard. I mean, you got to do like a top 10, not a favorite. But I love my Veprs. I love, believe it or not, my NPAP, because I went all tactical on that thing. And I didn't do it just to go tactical. I did it because I built an AK to me. What fits, what works for just about every situation for me. A gun that I can close my eyes and throw up, open my eyes, and I'm on target. I'm there. The gun fits me. I can pull the trigger as fast as I want and hit everything I aim at. It never fails. It always is perfect, and that's my NPAP. That you'll see in the new video that I shot today. And there's other videos on it. But yeah, it's just that gun, as far as a shooter, I was thinking about it today on the way home. if there was an emergency and I had to run into my gun vault and go, okay, what am I running out of the house with? Well, that one's not sighted in, and that one, maybe the NPAP. Grab it and go. I know it's that gun where it can fall down a flight of stairs. It can be leaning in the corner, fall over and bang off the scope. I can toss it in a truck, in a car, whatever. And I pick it up, I throw a mag in it, and it's still 1.5 MOA at 300 yards. Always. Doesn't matter what ammo I feed it, it works. It's perfect. It just always works. It's for a shooter, I guess I'd probably grab that one and go. Just, I don't know. Say what you will. Oh, what the hell? He's got all these guns. He'd take an NPAP. Yeah, it works. It works. All right, enough of that. Let me get through these. Tim Farley, there are some Century-built Yugos that had loose rivets. Receivers were Nodak. Rivets could be fixed, no problem. Don't think it was all that common. Yeah, those were Century Yugo builds. And there were, let me think on that one. I remember that, and I saw it. That was a guy on YouTube that was beginning way back, that was beginning to build guns in his garage with a press. And his first gun, he did it all screwed up the way he did it. But he came across a gun with a loose rivet, and I forget what it was. What was that? Maybe it was a Yugo, I think. Anyhow, yeah, you could just kind of tighten the rivets up. Those were some subcontracted guns, or maybe those were actually guns built by Century, but it was not common. It was not prevalent. I've never seen one personally, and I've picked up and held hundreds and hundreds of Yugo Century guns. Don't worry about it. You won't find one. And I doubt it. You'd be like the unluckiest dude on the planet if you found one of those. Anyhow, don't worry about it. Century built Yugo guns are the one good thing Century ever did. Let's see, Joe, man, I remember bolt hold open mags. What do you mean remember? They're still around, lots of them. Wish I could get an M90 NP, the 5.56 that takes AR-15 mags. Yeah, those had, didn't those have the magwell adapter, the plastic magwell? Whichever one that is, I didn't like those. I never bought one because I just thought it was kind of Mickey Mouse with the plastic. Never got a notification, but I did see the stream in my subs feed. I didn't do an early one. I put out a post on it that I was doing one tonight, and then I got back so late that I didn't pre-do it. I guess I should have. I got to remember to do that. So what's up, Mateo? Thanks for being here. We did one last week, and we missed you guys, but no big deal. We're back to doing it. My internet is fixed. I'm running like 150. Well, I guess at the low end, maybe 70, but it's usually around 100 to 150 now. So everything's cool. Mateo's the mod around here, guys. So all you guys getting out of line there, Mateo's going to hammer your ass. Just keep that in mind. You guys know what Mateo looks like, right? He's like 6'7", 230. He's a badass. Let's see. Put an RPK stock on it. On what? On which one? Dan Dude, 2010. Which one? Because I've thought about, you know what I liked? Rob Ski did it. He put RPK stock on a regular Vepr FM. And at first I'm like, look at that. It looks terrible. And then I'm like, man, that looks pretty good. That's pretty cool. And then I saw some Vepr FMs from the factory with folding RPK stocks. I think it was from the factory, unless Arsenal did a few here, but I saw them on Gunbroker in the box from, it wasn't somebody got a hold of one and did it. So it was either from Mollet or Arsenal did it. But yeah, they were pretty cool. Magpul AK fixed stock, and it has cheek risers. They make one for a milled gun, really? Wow. Whoa, my cigarette's on fire. I I've never looked into Magpul for that. I like Magpul grips, but I've never looked at their stocks. I should say that when I first got in AKs, man, I wanted something with a Zukov stock so bad. I just thought they were the coolest thing. Look at that on a Yugo, that'd be so cool. And I probably should do a Zukov stock. They are pretty nice stocks, but I have not looked at Magpul stocks other than that, and for ARs, of course. But on my NPAP, I got a 3x prism scope on that, and I use a Mission First Tactical Core stock. It's called Core, Core with a cheek riser. I think it's Mission First Tactical. Pretty sure it is, yeah. Nice stock, really nice. It's an AR style stock. Anyhow, I'll check that out. Let's see, Orion Fixer's in the house. Thank you for showing up, sir. As usual, I appreciate it. I didn't get noticed until I was already here. That's funny. Yeah, they're shadow banning me, god damn it. Let's see, Joe Morgan, right on. I like energy drinks. Yep. M4 stock adapter. You can also do M4 stock adapter and go into it. Yeah, well, that's what I did on the NPAP. But I'd want to keep it kind of a normal stock. I want it to look like it should look. I don't know. If I could get a wood stock that was high enough, I'd do that. I kind of want to leave it alone, that gun, for whatever reason. I just think it should be left alone. Or I wonder if I forget the model designation, but their military 5.56 gun has a different handguard and a little bit different grip than the SAM 5 that came in here. I wonder if the stock is a little different or if they make one for it. Might be something to look at. Energy drinks, my blood pressure don't play well together. Exactly, which is why I now do green tea. Once upon a time, I drank them. I like green tea. Armory. Energy drinks. Let's see. Grandpa Rob. I'm not well off enough for imports without losing money. ATM, I have to stick with AR-15s because that's okay, man. Hey, I love AR. You know what? I've been shooting so many ARs lately that today, I got to admit this. I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to. Shooting the AKs again and shooting them a lot. The one thing that crossed my mind was, God damn, the recoil on these things compared to the ARs, And trust me, I shot so much 7.62 and so many AKs for so long. I never thought twice about it, but I never shot ARs. Never, ever, ever, ever. I just didn't. And then I've been building so many in all different iterations and this and that now when I go back to shooting a lot of AK, I'm like, wow, what the hell? But the first mag today, I was like, woo. And then it all went away and it was normal again. But it was kind of funny. Mateo's not looking to buy anything except a ZPAP. Outside of that, I may buy a couple barrels for caliber conversions. Yeah. I did the ZPAP thing too. When they first started talking about import bans, it was in a live stream, I think I said, or in ammo video. I walked into this local gun shop up by Milwaukee and walked in there, and they had everything you could imagine. And they had a ZPAP on the wall. And although it was more money than I could have gotten it on Gunbroker at the time, I just thought, you know what? It's here. It's now. The transfer is now. If he bans them tomorrow, I got it. And it was maple and it was flamed out. And I thought, I'll pay you a little bit extra. And I got it. And I'm glad I did. I didn't need it. I have exact versions of it, just other time and place imports, OPAP. And, but I wanted one. So Susan at Orion Fixer. 2A EDU's in the house. Overworked. Yes. I know how you feel, sir. And this is your bad time of year. You're doing spring cleanups and getting everybody's lawn in shape and fertilizing and all that stuff. I I don't envy you, man. He's got a hard job, guys. He works his butt off, not to mention what he does for our community and his channel, his live streams, the research he does, the events he attends, the people he talks to and stays in constant communication with. He is a busy, busy, busy man, let me tell you, and doing a great job, I might add. So good to have you here. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. No names, please. When I first got the AR-15, I tried to rock and lock mag out of habit. Yeah, you get lazy. You start shooting AR-15s and you get lazy. You're like, what the hell? I got to rock this thing in? What the heck is this crap? Anyhow, let's see if we got any new chat here. You mean the Fab Defense Corps? I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Pretty sure. No, you don't have to thank me, sir. Not at all. But getting back to what we did today at the range. So I'm going to the range. I'm going to shoot a video. And I wasn't going to make the mistake that I usually do. I don't know about you guys. For a lot of guys, I know it's like this because maybe you don't get to the range too often, or it's an event, or it's a long ways to go, or you don't have time, so you want to make it a big event, and you end up bringing like 10 guns, right? You got 3 pistols, 7 rifles, shotgun, this, that. Man, we're going to shoot today. And even though I get to the range all the time, I don't have time. So I always want to, shoot the videos I want to shoot. And then if there's some new guns or stuff I've thought about doing other videos on, I'm going to bring those guns with, and I'm going to get some video footage of at least shooting footage, right? Because I can record videos in the shop or videos in the gun vault or whatever. But you always got to add some shooting footage, right? Or they're kind of boring and you don't get as many views and all that stuff. So anything new, even if I haven't thought through the video yet, I bring it with and get some shooting footage, right? That I can add into any video later. And so you end up with 10 or 15 guns with you and all this ammo and all this crap. And you get to the range and you're just jumping from thing to thing to thing to thing, a certain weapon, and you're not dedicated enough. Or it's just sighted in quickly. It's not perfect like it should be. And I make that mistake all the time and I can't stand it. So last week I said, okay, it's AR day. I got 3 ARs that I really want to dial these things in, and I really want to work with them so I know where they're at and what they do and how they react. And is there a shift, an impact shift when they heat up and all that kind of stuff. So I brought 3 ARs that I'll be dropping that video next, actually. I did a DMR build that you got in their receiver. That's where it doesn't have a normal barrel nut. Barrel nut's kind of built into the upper receiver, and there's an internally to the upper receiver, and there's an internally threaded barrel nut. So your handguard is bolted directly to the barrel nut. So your handguard is bolted directly to the receiver as opposed to being bolted to the barrel nut. And just one less thing to have any input on the barrel. And I got a 2.5 by 10 scope, which is perfect in my opinion for a DMR rifle, because let's face it, a normal infantry carbine or something that's set up for CQB is what, 0 to maybe 200 yards is kind of what, yes, it can go further, but it's kind of meant for that, right? And then your designated marksman kind of fills the gap between those carbines and, let's say, Overwatch a sniper or something like that. You would watch a sniper or something like that. I kind of consider it like really 200, but let's say 150 to 400 maybe 5, but 150 to 4, I think, is a good range. And this 2.5 by 10 primary arms, I got it on sale a couple of years ago, and I've messed with it some, but man, I think the scope now goes for $700. They came out with it, and then they were changing it right away. So the batch that was out, they put on sale to get rid of them, and they were like $300, $299. Now they're $600 or $700, and it's worth every penny of 6 or 7. It's got so many features. 2.5 by 10. First of all, 2.5 you can use up close, right? Like I use my 3-power prisms. It's still low enough magnification you can shoot 2 eyes open. But then at 10 power, it's more than a LPVO, like, low power variable optic, like a 1x4 or 1x6 or even 1x8. So this 2.5 by 10 lets you reach out, and really, like, 200 yards is nothing. You're on top of the damn thing at 10 power. And so to go to 3 and 4 is nothing for this scope. It's the perfect scope for it. Perfect rifle. It's not a heavy barrel, but it's kind of intermediate. I think it's a gunner style Faxon, I think. 20-inch barrel, and just what a gun, man. The thing's a tack driver. And so I brought that. I brought this new shorty. I got it here. I wish I could show it, but 7.5-inch AR, and I brought a carbine build I did that's kind of lightweight and just red dot, just common, nice, well-built, solid carbine. And I brought those. Said it's AR day, and I ended up working on the DMR, and the other stuff fell by the wayside. So 3 is too much to bring when you want to do something. I'm Google video that guys calling me out, telling me I don't know what I'm talking about, when I do, and they're wrong. And I don't want to be rude to them, but I figured I'm going to do an answer video to that and show 3 Yugo guns together and compare them, and it'll be fun. So I grabbed 3 Yugos and ran out. I almost did the VR80. I almost did a grand video today. I got to do that. So much fun. And I haven't gotten really good with that rifle yet. Loading it is still tough sometimes, but I want to do a grand video and some VR stuff. Anyhow, this Yugo one's going to be a lot of fun. I actually did some a real basic accuracy testing between the 3. So the M70 AB2, the ZPAP, and the NPAP, side by side, same target, 5 shots each, 5, 5, 5, right in a row. I think I even used the same mag. I just switched it gun to gun, and without stopping the video, nothing. And see which one put out the best grouping. And I'm not going to tell you what happened, but you'll see it in the video. And it's kind of, I don't know if it's what you would guess or not. I don't know, but it's cool. It's cool. It'll be a fun video, and just go over some of the things and the points on the Z. Guys that haven't been doing it that long might not know, and why they're telling me I don't know what I'm talking about when actually I do. They just weren't around when these points went down. So cool video. Had some fun out there. I went by myself, and actually, instead of driving my car, which I always do, and is packed to the gills when I go, my wife got a new SUV, and she's loving it. And I drove it the other day, and I kind of liked it. So she said, "You want to take my car to the range?" And I'm like, "Can I?" No, I can't. I don't have to ask, but it's just one of them. She does when she drives my car. She'll ask, and I appreciate that because I'm very finicky about my car. But yeah, I drove it. Man, it was nice to have an SUV to pack everything. You guys don't realize what goes into 280. You could probably tell you, but when I could shoot at the house here, it was one thing. But now to load up to go, it's an undertaking, man. And I always say I'm going to start the night before and get everything packed up and mags loaded and all that. And I never do. And here, got to bring your regular target stands, hold downs and all this stuff. Then the steel targets and the bases. Today, brought the steel target, brought the base. I forgot the uprights for it. So I had no steel to bring, which sucked. But you bring all that stuff. Then the bench stuff that you need, and then the ammo and the rifles and the cameras and the tripods. And do I have batteries charged? And do I have SD cards? And ear protection, all this stuff. And even though it's organized, it's like, oh my God. And before you know it, everything is packed. Trunk, back seats, tools you got to bring and everything. Just a ginormous pain. And it takes so long to get ready and then so long to unload. And I can't wait. We listed our house again and we're doing the move. And it looks like we are. Anyways, if everything goes well. And the new house will have plenty of room for shooting. My house currently did, but we've got enough acreage and enough room. I could shoot 300 yards before. And then somebody built a house behind me. And, if tables were turned, I wouldn't want somebody shooting right now. Although the guy that built the house behind me has a shooting range. I hear him shooting all the time. No rifles, just pistols, but kind of pisses me off a little. So now he gets to shoot and I don't. But and again, not because I can't legally. It's just in my eyes, it's not the smart thing to do. So the new house will I will up the game again, get back to normal. Since I started this channel is about when he started that house. So that's why I haven't been shooting at home. It's a pain. It's a royal pain. Let's see. I have a 2x10. It's still a decent scope. Yeah, that 2.5 by 10 is the glass and it's fabulous. It's first focal plane. So for you guys that don't know, excuse me, the reticle doesn't stay one size. It changes along with the power of the scope. So it's a good thing and a bad thing sometimes. At low powers, the reticle can be so small, like in this case, an ACSS reticle where it's got the dots. If someone's walking across, you can lead them with it. You can use it for wind, all that stuff. At super low power, the reticle is almost so small, it's hard to use. But at those higher powers, it's really good. And the other thing is that on a second focal plane scope, an ACSS reticle or one that has BDC, stuff like that, you can only use it at the highest power. That's where, the calculations work out at the highest power. So you can't be, let's say on a 1x6, you can't be at 2 power and it's not accurate, only at 6 power. So that's kind of cool. And the glass quality, it's not Chinese. It's got Taiwanese glass, which is several steps above Chinese glass, but not quite as good as like Japanese glass, from what I understand. I'm not a huge optic guy, but the little I do know, that's what I've heard. Anyhow, let's see. It's because before AR-15, all the guns I had were Russian or Chinese. I felt, why'd you feel like a dumbass? Dang, there are 6 gun channels streaming. Really? Is that why I'm so low? Who else streams tonight? Maybe I got to switch the night. I think I picked Wednesday originally because nobody else was. Mateo, I use stackable plastic storage boxes and a breakdown dolly to make it easier. Yeah. It's not so much the hauling the stuff. It's just getting it loaded, and there's so much. And yeah, I guess I could organize it better and make it easier. But all the targets are the big pain in the rear. Mine is a Vision King, which has decent Chinese glass in it. Yeah. Cool. Oh, geez. You know what? I touched my chat and all of a sudden all these new chats appear that I missed. Let's see. Dixie Living. Did you remove the furniture on your ZPAP Maple? Where'd it go now? Maple before applying the boiled linseed oil. No, I left it on and did it right there. Micah Watts, are you from Rockford, Illinois? Originally, I'm from Chicago, grew up in Chicago. Then we moved out toward the Rockford area and were there for quite a few years. Well, I should back up. I was from Chicago. I moved to northern Wisconsin when I got married. And I spent a lot of time. I spent 7 years in Michigan. Yay, Michigan, all the Michigan guys in here. I went to college north of, let's just say north of Grand Rapids. The Michigan guys know where I went, but if I give you too much, I can get dox me or something. But I went to school in northern Michigan and spent 6 years there. They know the school, so they know what it's all about. But yeah, I spent a lot of time in Michigan. Then after college, I spent some time in some of the suburbs of Detroit, namely Birmingham, and then moved back to Chicago briefly and went straight to northern Wisconsin, where I was until I got married. And we bought a house up there, and I wanted to live there. I wanted to stay, but my wife, the winters were just long. We had kids, and her mom was back down south in Illinois, so we moved back south. But I wanted to live in the country, so we lived in a little farm town, 20 minutes, 30 minutes from Rockford. And we're there for quite a long time, and now moved back north to Wisconsin. And I love Wisconsin. Great state. Reminds me of Michigan. It's like Michigan, except we have Madison. But with the governor Michigan has, I guess I should count my lucky stars right now. But anyhow, northern Wisconsin right now. So my kids are still down in Rockford and all, so I'm down there all the time. I get down there at least once a week, sometimes more. Sometimes I'll go down and spend the night down there on my day off to spend time with them because my daughter's getting married soon. And I still have memberships to clubs down there. And so I shoot down there. A lot of the videos I shoot down there because my friends are down there and business acquaintances like Mark Krebs and everybody are down there. The Illinois, believe it or not, for as bad a political state Illinois is, it's super friendly to gun manufacturers. And a lot around O'Hare Airport. You have a lot around O'Hare Airport. You have DSA arms, FN, FAL style weapons in the country. You've got Zastava in Des Plaines, Illinois. There's there's a huge AR company that my buddy Fabrizio works for, and they're right outside of Chicago. I think the retail end is White Label Armory, but a huge AR company. They make every part of an AR, I think even barrels now. And I'm sure if you own an AR, you have some of their parts on your gun, you just don't know it. Who else is in Illinois? Some of the biggest wholesale distributors were there too. There was a guy, they got shut down actually back in the day, like Shotgun News days. But just tons and tons of gun companies down there. So it's nice to get back down there. It's convenient. My friends are there. My kids are there. I like it there. If I always said if I could move my town and my house 30 miles north over the border, I just love it. I'd love it. I loved my town. We didn't deal much with Chicago politics. Once you get outside of Chicago, the rest of the state is magnificent. You don't. There's no liberals outside of Chicago. Yeah, maybe in Rockford a little bit, but it's all Republican the minute you get outside the city. And the rest of the larger cities in Illinois aren't like Chicago where it's sprawled out. They're cities, and two outside the city is cornfields, And northwestern Illinois is beautiful. You got the valleys, Rock River Valley, and all that. It's gorgeous. It's not what you think. It's not like Iowa or Nebraska cornfields. It's really nice. A lot of great gun clubs, a lot of shooting. And I'm not talking about like Chicago shooting. I'm talking about fun shooting, competitive shooting. It's a great place. It's just unfortunate Chicago rules it, maybe one day it'll turn. Who knows? We would be neighbors if so. Oh, you're in Rockford? Okay. Well, I'm down there all the time. All the time. That's where I want to live, up in Wisconsin. Yeah, it's great. Oh, your family's from there. Yeah. A lot of good people in Wisconsin. I love living in Idaho, Rock. It's a nice place. Joe, you live in Idaho? Legit? Come on. Oh, I'm jealous, man. I love Idaho. I would love to live there, or Montana, or any of those states. I would love to. But we're looking at Tennessee. I think we're going down to Tennessee. We've been doing a lot of looking, and that's where we're going to end up. So I'm kind of excited for that. Hopefully it happens quicker. I'm hoping I sell the house before the bubble pops, and then I'll do like '08. I'll probably start building a house and rent for a year, or might not even start building with the cost of lumber. So, man, Idaho, I would move there in a second if my wife would. Tennessee, Chattanooga. Well, I shouldn't say Chattanooga. Between Chattanooga and Knoxville, along the Smokies or in the Smokies. I'd love to be in the Smokies. Unfortunately, it's all federal land. There are a few towns here and there. You can find some houses actually in the mountains, but most are in the foothills. If you know what the Ocoee is, Ocee, Ocoee, there's the Ocoee River. And back, I forget what year, Summer Olympics, the U.S. built a whitewater rafting course for the Olympic Games there on the Ocoee. And they have that U.S. Olympic Whitewater Center there. And not too far from there, that area there. So, yeah, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. We were going to move to Asheville, North Carolina, just outside. That's kind of a neat town if you want to live in the mountains, because it's one of the few cities that's actually in the mountains, not like on the edge of it, at least Tennessee, North Carolina kind of deal. So you can be in the mountains. Yeah. Long family story, but I could have been there basically for free, with 80 acres on top of a mountain. All I had to pay for was building a house, but timing screwed up and missed out on it. So yeah, that sucks. You travel down from Louisville? Oh, you're in Louisville. I used to go there for the big RV show every year, where we bought all our RVs for the business. The RV business. Louisville's a fun town. I was there when the Corvette Museum fell into a sinkhole. Pretty cool. Let's see. Outside Boise, there's no nonsense, no rioters. So I wish we had somebody from Oregon in here. Let's talk politics a little bit, just a little bit. More talk rioting. How's that sound? An employee of mine went to Oregon and Portland, where all the problems are, where they were attacking that police headquarters and whatnot. He had to fly into Portland and was not staying there, was staying in a suburb or just outside it. You could see the city from there, and then was traveling somewhere else on the coast. Anyhow, when he got back, I asked him, I said, so is it true? What's it like there? Is that little area all screwed up and burned out and everything? He said, what are you talking about? I said, the area where they were protesting and attacking that police center and all that, is it screwed up? He said, not just that area. I said, what are you talking about? He said, it's the whole thing. He goes, it's a mess. Here's what he told me. He said the best way he could describe it is, he asked me if I watched a lot of World War II documentaries. And I said, yeah, I've seen everything there is to see. He said, well, you know, when they show the cities in Europe all blown up and everything's just a mess and this and that, he goes, that's what it looks like, the whole city. Now, not to the degree where it's rubble, but he said, yeah, it's the whole city. I guess when they landed at the airport, wherever they were going, they had to kind of do a semicircle through the city and out. And he said they just drove and drove and drove, and it was just screwed the whole way. It's not a little area. It's a mess. They've really done a number on it, I guess. So, yeah. Here's a funny story, too, where they were staying. One of the first nights was near a place, I guess it's the largest sand dune in the country, obviously on the coast, whatever. But when I think of sand dunes, I think of like Michigan or Indiana, the big dunes down there. Well, this puts it to shame. He's miles away from it at this house, and he's on the balcony, and he's looking. He took the picture toward the sand dune. He had went to bed the night before. He was having a glass of wine out there with his wife. He could see the sand dune. He went to bed. He woke up in the morning, and he took a picture of it. During the night, he said it had to take these guys like 8 hours of the night. It's kind of like the guys that do the crop circles, you know? Well, these guys, I don't know how many, but you could see it from like 3 miles away, stomped up the sand, a giant twig and berries in the sand, and you could see it. It was on the, I guess it was on the news. It was so big. It was crazy. It took them hours and hours. They must have done it. But yeah, that was his trip out west. So you got that. But yeah, he said Oregon was a mess, but outside of there, he said it was fine, absolutely fine. So Joe's only a little bit outside of there. Breno, Idaho. I don't know. Is that where Sand Dune is or something? It wasn't Idaho. It was Oregon. 30. So you're 30 minutes from Ontario, Oregon. Let's see. Yeah, they tried that in Louisville too. Didn't work out too well for them. Yeah. You know, you get down south a little bit, and they're not playing games down there. You know. Now I could see it happen in Nashville, maybe. Nashville. Tennessee, it's almost too late to go to Tennessee. You got so many people moving in, a lot of West Coasters and a lot of Hollywood. You know, LA used to be that rock scene and everything. And now my brother's in the music business. He works for Styx. The band Styx has for 25 years. And they all live now. They're from Chicago originally, but they all live in Tennessee. And you get to Nashville and you look at the hillsides and stuff, and it's just huge compound after huge compound, you know, a lot of money there, all the LA money. Tommy Shaw from Styx sold his house. He lived just above the Hollywood sign. Beautiful house, and built a beautiful house in Nashville now. But they're all moving there, and what comes along with it, their politics, you know, and hopefully they can keep it out. I don't know. We shall see. Bruno, Idaho has a national or state park, forgot which. Okay. So we did that basic accuracy testing today on the Yugos. Just showed the difference, shot them a bunch. Had a great time. Did that AR video with the DMR. That'll be coming. And I showed it in the video, but I haven't done a video on it. I got a Kimber Micro 9 Raptor, right? And you think Kimber, man, awesome, right? And I got a Kimber 1911 I like. I can't get this Micro 9 to run to save my life. I'm so disappointed. It's truly like up until not too long ago, I've never sold a gun. Any gun I bought, I kept. Never sold one. And I'm thinking about getting rid of this. And it's so disappointing because I wanted it to be good. I wanted it to carry it. And it's so disappointing that I can't rely on it. I've tried all kinds of factory ammo. I can get Full Metal Jacket to run fairly well in it, but hollow points, it'll run one mag perfect, the next mag 3 or 4 problems. I've tried loading it different ways, this, that, different mags. I just can't get it to run right. God, I just wish when I can pop 6, 7 mags, 8 mags through it as fast as I can shoot and it runs them all, okay, I'll be happy with it. But until then, I just can't rely on it. And I want to, because it's an all metal, real gun, not polymer. It's hammer fired. It's beautifully machined. Everything about it is gorgeous. It's got a nice weight to it. And it's small enough and super easy to carry. I don't even know it's there. But man, it's got me. I wanted to throw it into the woods today. Crazy. It cost me a lot of ammo today. I probably ran 150 rounds worth of every type of ammo on the planet through that gun, and an absolute waste of ammo today, because just when I thought it was going to run, it won't run. And then reloads. I reloaded. I changed the length, the bullet shape, the this, the that, the powder, a million different reloads today, and that was a waste. And then I'm so pissed off I don't even pick up my brass. So now I lost all the brass too. Plus I had to get back here for this, but God, that gun's got me. I don't get upset with guns. I fix guns. That's what I do. And this thing, man, I don't know. I should send it back. I've never sent a gun back to a factory for work. Never. I've always fixed it myself. But in this case, and for what you pay for these cameras, I mean, this gun I think was like $850. That's a lot of friggin' money for a micro gun. A lot of money, and in anybody's book. And for it to be basically a wall hanger, a paperweight, I don't know. But just the thought of sending it back, does it get there? Is it there? How long is it going to be there? Do I have to do a transfer when it comes back? All this crap. What a nightmare. I'm almost better off just use it as a range toy, but I don't know. The money could go somewhere else better spent, right? Anybody else have any problems with guns like that they bought that they just couldn't get to run? Or maybe experiences sending guns back? Good or bad, what have you run into there? I don't know. Just, one of them things. So we've been on almost 2 hours, guys. I hope you enjoyed the AK talk tonight, and what we went through, some of the history and a little bit about stuff. And, hope you liked it. I think it was a good chat tonight. I'm going to go back through the chat here a little bit. And then if you guys got anything, final questions or anything, let me have it here and we'll go from there. Also, if there's 6 other gun channels streaming right now, maybe I will consider another night. I don't know. Any ideas, guys? Anything that would work? Anything that's better, you think? I don't know. Let me get in here and see. The news didn't cover it, but there were several small militias from neighboring counties shadowing their movements that first night. Where's that, Mateo? In Louisville? You had stuff going on down there or what? I didn't hear about it.
Not a Kimber fan at all. Once they were decent, but Kimbers have been terrible for years. Yeah, I've heard several things on Kimber that they're built too precise and they're too tight, and that's why they're finicky and don't run right. And then Kimber kind of they went from that boutique manufacturer to being a full-time manufacturer. So, yeah, with that comes problems. It wasn't as great, but I've updated it with 70% Wilson parts at this point. So now it's a Wilson Combat. I was in town next to Boise, had my gear ready to go. They closed the town off, couldn't get there in time. People's rights were really here in Idaho, 3% or 2. I'm neither, just wanted help. You were trying to get to Portland, Joe? Was that it? I stayed home because I knew how many others were downtown for that hoopla, but I had my gear ready when NFAC came to stop last year's Derby. Okay. Yeah, I guess I did hear about that. Tuesdays I could do Tuesday night. I really could. That would probably be better. It wouldn't screw up my range day either, or in Fixer Rockford. Another channel I watch does light gunsmithing for a local gun shop and has sent 3 micros back to Kimber in the last month. Same problem as yours. Have they come back yet? Have you heard anything good? I was going to take it to Mark Krebs and have him. I think I mentioned last time he was a 1911 smith before he was a famous AK smith. But he's busy, and that's the last thing he wants to screw it. So maybe I will send it back. Orion, let me know if what came of it, or if they got good results out of it, or what the issue was. That'd be great to know. Breonna Taylor decision came down. Mayor declared martial law. Yeah, okay, now I know what you're talking about. Right on my tail, I had the house locked up. My folks were armed, and my gear couldn't get on freeway. They had state police closing it down. No, Boise in town. Okay. Yeah, maybe we'll go to Tuesdays, guys. Either way, I'll announce it next week. So just keep an eye out on Tuesday, and maybe we'll switch it. I just want to get this thing locked in. I mean, first it was the internet problems. Now I got that fixed. It's been good all night, right, guys? Is it clear? Is the picture clear? Grainy, fuzzy, anything? Volume good? Anything I could improve with it? Orion, let me know when those come back. I would love to know. I'll hold off my decision till then. They came out with that new Micro 9, the black ice something or other. God, I wish I would have held off for that one. I really like the looks of that. Maybe I'll get rid of this one and get that one. I don't know. Try on double punishment, right? Anyhow, I'm going to get busy on that DMR video to get it out to you. I just tell you how happy I am with that pistol. Let's talk about that real quick and then we'll go. But yeah, so I wanted one kind of because it's, current military, and so why I buy rifles. I prefer military rifles, At least it doesn't matter what country used it, just that it's been used as a military weapon. So I wanted one. I like the Coyote and everything, and I got it. And, some people are down on SIG because they say, and it's true, at least partially, if not fully. But people say that, SIG, for as big a company as they are and everything, they use the general public as their proving ground, as their R&D department. They tend to put guns out maybe a little too early. They should do more testing before they put them out. They put them out and then the public has a problem and they take care of it. Or maybe it's only a few guns or whatever, though they shouldn't do it. It should be good to go when it hits. So some people kind of got a hard on for them because of that. But I don't know. I like them. My first SIG was a 1911 that. God, I love that gun. It's better than the Kimber, way better than the Kimber. It functions flawlessly. It always runs, and it's super cool. And then the 365 XL, mine came after the dragging on the primer problem or whatever the hell it was. That gun just runs and runs and runs. It's a great little gun. So I figured, let's try this M17. And I've never, here, I hate Glocks, hate them. Hate the way they look, hate that they're plain, hate that everyone has one, but you can't deny that they run and run and run, and they're great. And I just so happen to shoot one extremely well. Everyone has a gun they put in their hand. They're like, wow, I shoot this thing so good. Well, my Glock, I'm just, I can close my eyes, go bang, and hit something. You know, it's crazy how good I am with this thing, right? And so I got the SIG, I get this SIG, and I'm like, I shoot it better than the Glock, and it fits me, and it feels good, and it feels like an extension of me, and it handles just so well. I can't say enough about it. I am in awe at this pistol. And they said, well, they go off by themselves. You know, every time they look into these issues, whatever company or manufacturer, the gun went off by itself, or it dropped and it went off. And I'm not saying all the time, but a lot of the time it's user error and they don't want to admit it. You know, nobody wants to admit when something like that happens, let alone military. But I don't know. I'm not going to go drop my gun 82 times, see if it goes off. But I don't see it. I think you'd have many more cases of it. Anyhow, I don't care about that. I guess, you know, issues happen, you know, but this gun is nothing short of phenomenal. It's so smooth, runs so well. I can't say enough. Accurate. Oh my God. Just wonderful. I love it. So I did that video. I took that out today and had to shoot it some more. It was so much fun. Great gun. Just carrying it. I got to get a nice safari land for it. And I got it on, and you'll see it in the Yugo videos and stuff. But yeah, I can't say enough about that pistol. If you guys are thinking about one, that or a 320, same gun, right? Get one. Get one. If you don't, the only thing I'd say hold back on the M17 is if you don't like a manual thumb safety, then get the 320. But because the military version has the thumb safety, and I like that. It's part of the reason I wanted it and was hoping it was so good, and it is. It's great. Anyhow, so the stream is good whenever. Okay. I went down to 480 and it's been good to go. No real buffering. So I was buffering on you? I can't friggin' believe it. It can't be on my end because we're running I got the speed thing right now. Here, let me try a speed test here. Give you guys an idea of what I'm going to do it on my phone though, but this should be getting the same thing. And next week and going forward, I'm going to be have a direct link. I'm going to be wired instead of wireless. All right, running a speed test on my phone here. 112, dropping a little bit. Download speed 92, and upload speed. Oh, my upload speed is low. Usually I'm running like 20. Oh, wait. Wow, it really slowed things down there. My upload speed was horrible. I might lose you guys here. Or maybe this is slowing it all down. Yeah, upload is like 6 right now. So I better stop using that while I'm on this. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's see, last couple things on the SIGs. You're a SIG naysayer? I thought Orion was. No, it was you, right, Mateo, or maybe both of you. I had the SIG Nightmare 1911 and 357 SIG. Yeah, great guns. SIG is at the top now, a couple of times, but very briefly on the, okay. Well, good. It's certainly not what it was a few weeks back when I was having all these problems. And it's only going to get better. We've solved it, and I'm going to get some, what do you call it, Cat 5 or whatever, and we're going to be hardwired next week, and my speeds are even faster. So it's going to be awesome, and we'll go from there. Going to start maybe tweaking the lighting, and then I can, now that I'm wired and got it fixed, I can do it in the gun room and all that other stuff. We'll start worrying about sound a little more and all that good stuff. And I'm also going to switch over to a live streaming software, so we'll be able to show stuff, pictures of stuff while I'm talking, show you things, even video maybe, and all that good stuff. So it'll be a lot more interesting. So, Luke, where do I live? Wisconsin. It's Rockford Ordnance because I used to be from Rockford, and we moved to Wisconsin, but I still get down there all the time, and we do a lot of shooting down there. You must have missed it a little, or Cat 7, I mean, yeah. Ethernet, that's what I mean. I'm not one of these guys. I have IT guys for that. At work, just call them. I know nothing. I know how to get on the internet. That's it. I'm lucky I can do this. This is ridiculous that I can even do it. I don't mess with it much. I have people that come in when I got a Zoom meeting. I got to call the guy in, hey, fix my thing. I got a meeting in 5 minutes, But anyhow, hope you enjoyed the AK talk earlier. You'll enjoy the videos. We're going to have more. I'm going to do, we're going to get back to shooting some Vepers and do some stuff with those. More on the Sam side folder. And I'm going to pull the Chinese Bakelite side folder out of mothballs and actually go beat the piss out of it. How's that sound? I know you guys think I'm nuts, but we're going to. I love shooting that gun. So it'll be fun to watch. Actually, if you guys, I'll give you 2 minutes here, 2 minutes for you to comment. Give me your top 3 AKs that you've seen on my channel, or maybe not even seen, that you want to see in a video. Real quick, you got 2 minutes. Top 3 AKs, shoot them all in one video. Side-by-side comparison, let's say. And I got Yugos, I got Vepers, I got Sams, I got SLRs, I got Chinese, I've got RPKs, I've got you name it, I got it. Wassers, whatever you guys want to see. 3 in the same video, head to head. 2 minutes. Type it out. Anybody want to see it? Chinese guns, all of them. I only have one Chinese gun. Not a big Chinese fan. But I love that big side folder is so unique and so cool. I just love it. Anyhow, you guys can leave it in the comments even after I go here. But thanks for coming, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you like the videos. Please stop in over at the channel, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, do all that good stuff. And yeah. That's it. Hey, share the channel, please. Tell people about it. We need to get this thing going. This live stream has not taken off. And I mean, we had better view numbers our second week, I think. It's been, I mean, we top out at 20 maybe. That's ridiculous. Should be a couple hundred by now. But anyhow, thank you guys for everything. And we'll see you soon. Hopefully that video's out tonight, tomorrow at the latest. And tell me what you think. You're my favorite 3, huh? I want to get the RPK out again. Haven't shot that in a while. So maybe we'll do that. Just looking for something. I want to blow through a bunch. I got a couple thousand rounds of 7.62 burning a hole in my pocket. So, yeah. We're going to do some mag dumps, and maybe I'll break out the drum mags. We'll see. I don't know. Just I want to get back to normal shooting. And I've been reloading a ton too, so we got that going. I'm not too worried about ammo at this point. So All right, I'll pull out my favorite 3. How's that sound? That's gonna be hard. But because there's different favorites, right? Ones you shoot, ones you look at, ones you just like because you like. But maybe I'll do like a Misha top 10. I don't know. We'll see. Top 3, I'll keep it to. Maybe top 5 plus a wild card. Like Iraq veteran. Anyhow, all right, guys. Thanks again. I got to go up, pay attention to the wife, and have some dinner because I've been gone since 2:00, and I literally ran in the door downstairs and on the computer, and haven't seen any of my family on my day off, and spent it all with you guys. So, anyhow, thanks again. You guys take it easy, and 2AE to you. Make sure you get some rest and some time for yourself in there too. And hey, call me. Let's do what we were talking about. I think my internet's ready. Everything's ready. We can get her done. So 4,000 subs and only 20 watching, right? I'm like 44. Oh, keep in mind, guys, I'm doing a giveaway at 5,000 subs. And I promise you, it's going to be some Krebs gear and some real Krebs gear. So be looking forward to that. If I know Mark, there'll be all kinds of stuff. We'll have everything from T-shirts to hand guards to safeties to whatever. He'll load me up. I promise you, he'll load me up with good prizes, and you're all eligible to do it. So as we get close to it, I'll figure it out. I know El Tenda, my one buddy, he's done a couple. He knows this software we can use. So it's a fair raffle, but I will make sure. He always, El Tenda had to like turn down stuff from Mark. Like he felt like he was taking advantage of him. Mark's like, no, here, I want to give it away to you. Come on. But I will take full advantage, I promise. So there'll be some good stuff. And when whoever gets it, you guys will be jealous. I promise you. There'll be some good stuff. So look forward to that. Yeah, man, we cruised from 500 subscribers to 4,000 was like turbocharged. And then, man, it's just slowed down. But I think it's done that for all the gun channels because of what's going on politically, except 2AE to you, man. Holy Christ, he flew. He's like a big boy now. He can hang with all the big shots. Me, I'm still down with the pipsqueaks looking in. I got to, when you made it, when you get invited to the Iraq veteran shoot, right? Not me. I got to be like at the fence peeking over. What's going on in there? All the cool guys are in there, man. I can't get in. 2AED, you pugged me into your show. Into mine? Hello, my son. You're just in time. You want to be on TV? Come on. Come on.
Your wife needs you.
Okay. See you guys. I got to go. All right. Thanks for everything. I appreciate it. And as always, Rockford Ordnance out. Grab an 8K, go shooting this week, and get somebody new in the sport and stand up for the Second Amendment. Do something, guys, this week, okay? Sorry, I've been laying off on the Second Amendment stuff. We'll get back to it. Love y'all. Have a great night. Let me shut her down. Why can't I shut it down?
Because you're old.
Yeah, I'm old. Thanks. Appreciate that. You see what I got to deal with, guys? Bunch of bullshit, isn't it?